From drug and weapon smuggling to dispatching workers abroad, North Korea is evolving operations to earn hard currency. The truth is revealed in the death of a 2-year-old boy his father has admitted to murder. And an early start to summer in Korea means summer items are already on the shelves.
Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Wednesday, April 16th. I'm Luke Clary. First, some breaking news. Rescue operations continue off the coast of South Korea's Jindo Island, where a passenger ferry carrying hundreds of school children has sunk. A total of 477 passengers were on board, and as of broadcast time, it appears all of the children have been rescued. We'll have more for you on this as it develops, but for now, our top story. The U.S. Committee for Human Rights in North Korea says that the North, under sanctions by the UN, is evolving operations to earn hard currency, drug and weapon smuggling, and sending laborers overseas.
A new report by the U.S. Committee for Human Rights in North Korea says the North's involvement in illicit economic activities is undergoing change as the country is placed under UN sanctions. The report says that until the mid-2000s, the North Korean regime was out in front to earn dollar revenue through smuggling of foreign goods, narcotics, and weapons, but this has changed now. The committee says that as sanctions have cut off banking transactions, criminal activities is now being privatized.
But the private or semi-private production is now playing a greatly increased role in these activities.
The report says the growth of such semi-private enterprises can be likened to so-called criminal groups in the capitalist Western society. It says North Korean authorities often fail direct control of these groups. It also says that in addition to drug trafficking and arms sales, the North is diversifying sources of hard currency. This includes the inter-Korean Kaesong Industrial Complex trade with China, exportation of labor and remittances sent to families in North by defectors in other countries.
The marketization and decentralization of the North Korean economy that we've observed over the last 2 decades is that the state appears to be losing its monopoly over criminal activities.
As its economic activities go underground, the report says additional financial sanctions on Pyongyang won't be as effective. But the report also notes a positive effect of the growth of semi-private enterprises, more opportunity for information about the outside world to enter the communist state.
Recent revelations in a case of negligence resulting in the death of a 2-year-old boy reveal the sad truth. It's believed the father's game addiction resulted in the child's death, but the father has since admitted to murder.
A 2-year-old boy in Gumi, North Gyeongsang Province, is found to have been murdered by his game-addicted father. There was a report that was issued earlier saying that the boy was left neglected at home for over a month. This was found to be false. The Dongbu police station in Daegu City says the 22-year-old father, surnamed Jung, fessed up to the murder. On March 7th, Jung fed the child miso soup before heading out to an internet cafe. But the boy wouldn't sleep, which is why he choked him to death. Another confirmed finding shows that the father beat the child several times before killing him. He just left the corpse at home and then stayed at a motel. He returned home some 20 days later around March 31st. He wrapped the decomposed remains with a blanket, kept it in the veranda, and then threw it away in a plastic bag last Friday. The autopsy results confirmed this course of events. When the autopsy found 50 cubic centimeters of food left in the boy's stomach, the police grilled the father and he eventually confessed. Based on the autopsy results and Jung's confession, the police have requested an arrest warrant on charges of homicide.
The government is pledged to create more than 500,000 jobs in the next 3 years. And toward that effort, it will help establish Swiss-style vocational schools to provide hands-on professional training and job placement at mid-sized firms.
About 80% or 6,000 of the students at this vocational school in Switzerland succeed at landing jobs upon graduation. Their secret lies in their high-quality job skills, which they acquire in theory and practice before graduation.
habe dafür mehrere verschiedene Berufe beschnuppert. Pro Elektroinstallateur und dann wurde es mir von meinem Vater einmal vorgeschlagen und so bin ich dann zu diesem Beruf gekommen.
The government plans to introduce Swiss-style vocational schools in Korea. The government is poised to nurture talent in line with companies' needs by having students learn theory 2 days a week and practice at business sites 3 days a week. Next year, such program will be operated on a pilot basis at 7 special-purpose high schools. In addition to that, the government will expand the number of classes tailored to corporations' needs to more than 1,000. To help top graduates pursue higher education after finding jobs, the government will introduce college departments providing education in the graduate's area of expertise.
첫 일자리를 구하는 시기를 앞당기는 것은 청년들의 경험과 능력을 향상시킬 뿐만 아니라 고용률 제고에도 직접적인 효과가 있을 것으로 기대합니다.
The government also pledged to pay $960 a year over 3 years to high school graduates who find employment at small or mid-sized companies to encourage them to work for the same company for a long time. Businesses that will hire people whose professional careers had been suspended due to the military service or child rearing will receive government subsidies and tax benefits amounting to 10% of their labor costs.
Pope Francis has announced that he will visit South Korea this summer to meet with young people in Asia. The pontiff is expected to arrive in August.
Thousands of Catholics have gathered in front of St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican ahead of Easter. Pope Francis gives an impromptu sermon to the crowd. For the first time, he mentions his plan to visit Korea.
A Dio piacendo, il 15 agosto prossimo, ad Acheon, nella Repubblica di Corea, incontrerò I giovani dell'Asia nel loro grande raduno continentale.
After the service, the Pope posed for cameras. He also sipped on some herbal tea that one of the visitors treated him to and spent time with the public. Pope Francis is to visit Korea on August 14th. He'll stay in the country for 5 days. The Pope will attend a Youth Day event, which brings together Catholics from all over Asia, and will conduct a service at the World Cup Stadium in Daejeon. The Korean Catholic Service says the Pope's visit will consist of simple, down-to-earth events reflecting his easygoing and frugal personality.
By now, just about everyone should know the health hazards of minute dust particles. On Tuesday, the government laid out a set of step-by-step countermeasures to reduce fine dust in the air.
The sky in capital Seoul is blanketed with fine dust. People wearing masks quicken their steps.
목이 콜콜한 것 같고 눈이 좀 답답한 느낌.
Dust particles have also entered people's home, and indoor dust level has passed the recommended limit.
학교에서 측정했을 때 기준이 국가 기준이 100인데 지금 수치는 105.6으로 지금 나왔고요.
This year alone, advisories have already been issued on 5 days when average dust concentration per hour exceeded the limit. The government has reported measures to reduce dust pollution during a cabinet meeting. When a first phase advisory is issued, dust-removing vehicles will run more frequently. At public agencies, officials can bring their cars to work only every other day. Under a second phase alert, schools will be closed and rotational operation of all private cars will be enforced. The Environment Ministry will discuss the measures with the Education Ministry and local governments before implementation next year.
지난 2월 중에는 일주일씩 장기간 고농도 사태가 생기고 국민들께서 걱정이 많으시고 실제로 국민 건강을 걱정해야 할 상황입니다.
Officials will also introduce on a trial basis next month a superfine dust forecast system for the metropolitan region and also distribute guidelines for the public to follow.
Emergency treatment can face delays because ER doctors aren't up to speed on chronic diseases their patients might have. A new life tag service could be the answer, bracelets containing health information.
A woman suddenly flops down to the ground because of pain. She has a severe cough and can barely talk. An emergency worker holds his smartphone to the woman's bracelet to learn what kind of problems she has. The so-called life tag service has been developed recently, enabling emergency rescue workers and doctors to find out about a patient's health condition so that first aid can be provided more efficiently. By using this service, medical workers will be able to minimize errors when treating patients with chronic and rare diseases.
희귀 난치성이다 보니까 사람들이 쉽게 알지 못하는 상황이라서 빈혈이나 아니면은 그런 쪽으로 해서 가벼운 증상으로만 생각해서
The tags will also contain information on what kind of emergency help had been provided, patients' personal information, and their emergency contacts. The government will first operate the service on a pilot basis on some Severance Hospital patients, and then will expand it later to the elderly who are living alone.
상당히 경제적으로 어려운 이런 분들을 대상으로 맞춤형으로 이분들한테 꼭 필요한 정보를 사전에 알고 있는 상황에서 의료 서비스를 제공한다는 것입니다.
However, measures are needed to prevent privacy leaks that might occur in the event that the patients lose their life tags.
The unseasonably warm temperatures in Korea portend an early start to summer. Temperatures have soared to as high as 25 degrees Celsius already, which has retailers stocking shelves with summer items.
This is a women's apparel corner at a shopping mall. All of their mannequins are dressed up in summer clothing. In previous year, the summer outfits would have appeared in May.
작년 같은 경우는 4월 말, 5월 초에 여름 상품이 많이 입고됐던 그런 반면에 지금 여름 상품들의 그런 입고율이 80에서 90%, 또 어느 브랜드 같은 경우는 100%가 지금 입고되어 있는 상태이기 때문에
It's all because of the unseasonably hot weather.
예전에는 이제 봄, 가을, 겨울 이런 옷을 뚜렷하게 입었는데 지금은 이제 겨울에 지나고서 이렇게 바로 봄이 없는 것 같아요.
In fact, sales of summer fashion items like sleeveless shirts and sandals during the last spring sale increased more than 20% from a year ago. Department stores and other large retailers have started promoting summer items last weekend.
가벼운 옷차림을 찾는 분들이 많아졌기 때문에 저희가 조금 더 고객님들께 이제 그런 소비를 촉진하고자 그리고 많은 좀 혜택을 드리고자 저희가 별도로 기획전을 마련해서
Retailers are busy stocking up on summer items ahead of time, with the sudden onset of summer season and the long holiday weekend coming up in early May.
K-pop idol group EXO is making a comeback with a new mini album. They're as hugely popular in China as they are in Korea, and will be making the release in both countries at the same time.
K-pop group EXO's mini album titled Addiction will be released on April 21st. The album contains 5 songs, including the title track Addiction, and will be released simultaneously in Korea and China. Fans trying to reserve their copies of the album have swarmed the album sales site, causing a server overload and service disruption. EXO plans to appear on this week's Music Bank on KBS and a music show on China's CCTV. Famed Korean rock band Shinoi's guitarist Shin Dae-chul will create a music distribution cooperative in order to counter the music dominance of large music companies. Shin plans to open a website for the co-op, which will be comprised of fellow songwriters and musicians, as well as his fans. He has been criticizing the payment structure of major music sites such as Melon. For a monthly fee, Koreans can listen to any song without any restrictions. However, songwriters are paid less than a cent for each time their song is played. Pop sensation Lady Gaga, Korean rapper Psy, and K-pop groups Big Bang and 2NE1 are to hold concerts at Jamsil Stadium in Seoul. Psy, Big Bang, and other K-pop stars will perform on the first day of the Now Festival 2014, and Lady Gaga will follow the next day. The pop music celebration is scheduled for August 15th and 16th.
Dogs, cats, and birds are the most popular pets, but for some people, they're just so ordinary. Here's a look at pet lovers who think a little outside the box. This apartment in Incheon looks ordinary on the outside, but there's something quite unusual lurking inside. It's a large lizard. The reptile joined the family 5 years ago. However, it is crystal clear that the owner's mother and older brother are not overly fond of his pet.
탈출을 해요, 사육장에서. 그래서 청소하다 보면은 이제 저런 커튼 뒤나 이런 데 가끔 숨어 있을 때가 있어서 애도 놀라고 저도 놀라고.
It's not the most cute and cuddly pet, so how did the owner come to possess this lizard despite his family's opposition?
처음에는 뒷동산에서 한국토종도마뱀 장지를 잡아서 이게 키우다가 개미도 잡아주고 거미도 잡아서 먹이고 하다 보니까 재미있더라고요. 입양을 하고 이제 키우다 보니까 파충류의 매력을 알게 되고 거기에 빠져들기 시작한 것 같아요.
In his room, the wall is lined with cages of reptiles. He raises 10 different kinds. And while he loves and cares for his pets, he always has scratches on his hands. But he says that his wounds are no big deal.
발톱 관리를 해주면 피는 안 나는데 얘 본능에 따르게 나무도 탈 수 있게 해줘야 돼. 얘를 위해서라면은 뭐 이 정도는 희생해야죠.
Here's another man with an affinity for reptile companions. He first began raising scaly pets in middle school and now is a trader of rare animals. His office is full of rare species from the large veiled chameleon to the Argentine horned frog. They may look a little intimidating.
희귀동물들을 수입을 해서 그 희귀동물이 필요한 고객이라든가 상점 그리고 동물원, 전시관 이런 곳에 납품을 하고 있고요. 수입을 해서요. 그 다음에 다시 그 필요한 나라에 다시 역수출하는 일도 하고 있습니다.
He recently imported a very valuable animal.
손잡이 같은 게 없기 때문에 이제 34명 정도 들어야 되거든요. 한 200kg 정도가량 나가요.
It takes 4 men to bring it out of the water tank. It is enormous. It's the soft-shelled turtle. At 1 meter and 4 centimeters long, it might be in the running for the world's largest.
지금 세계적으로 가장 큰 자라가 보고된 게 이제 베트남 왕자라라고 우리나라에서도 이제 포털 사이트에 이슈가 됐던 자라가 있어요. 근데 그 자라보다도 4cm 정도 가장 큰 자라입니다.
There are about 50 different kinds of rare animals here, and he's earned almost $2 million in sales. He's a beneficiary of the increasing demand for unusual pets. In particular, the imports of snakes and soft-shelled turtles surged last year.
이 희귀동물 시장이 제가 처음 시작할 때 15년 전쯤에는 30명 커뮤니티 자체 동호회 회원수가 30명 정도밖에 안 됐어요. 근데 지금은 거의 10만 명 정도에 육박을 하고요. 그 다음에 펫샵도 예전에 비하면 뭐 한 3개 업체였던 게 지금은 한 120개로 늘어났고 이런 파충류나 양서류, 절지류 이런 동물들이 인기를 끄는 이유는 관리 차원에서도 그렇고 뭔가 재미 차원에서도 그렇고 그런 장점이 있어서 아마 이런 시장들이 커지고 있는 것 같습니다.
The market for rare pets is booming as pet lovers search for something special and uncommon to keep them company.
Now we'll take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. That's it for this edition of News Today. We'll see you again at the same time tomorrow. Have a great day.